Vinny, thanks for joining me. It's a bit surreal to be talking to you in Dundalk colours again, but you've been back now. It was announced last night. How's it feel to be back at Dundalk Football Club?
Yeah, it's obviously a different time. Sometimes in life you're very lucky, you get what's called a second chance. So, I mean, statistically, UEFA say most managers, 65% of managers only get one job. This is my second job in football and management, albeit at the same club. So, very lucky. There's no doubt there was a lot happened in between them 12 months, and it took a lot of soul searching, probably on both sides, and we've come up with what I think is a really good solution, and I'm really proud to be back. I'm a massive League of Ireland fan. I don't think I've ever hid that, but I'm a big loyal person as well. I was 8.5 years at Longford Town, probably 8.5 years here as well. They've been, and so I'm big into club loyalty. I think the club is at a stage where we could do a shot in the arm, and I just hope we can bring that to the club.
Yeah. This has sort of been in the pipeline. It's been mentioned for weeks on end. At one stage it looked completely dead in the water, and then I think it was Monday night, it just, the internet, etc., went in overdrive. But when did it become a reality that you were going to come back?
I was trying to work out the days, but it was probably, like, I only officially signed the contract last night, okay, with the club. So the internet, the world we live in is social media. I understand it. I've worked in the media myself throughout the last year, so I know how that works. But a lot of stuff, my wife handed me a newspaper 2 weeks ago, said I was back in the next 48 hours, and it was completely false. And I spoke to the people who wrote that as well to say the same thing. So look, there's a lot of talk on social media in particular. We live in a clickbait war now, and it's part of life. I don't have an issue with it, but it's not helpful to situations. So really, albeit I took training yesterday, I took that because I felt things were going the right directions. My discussion with Jim went in the right directions. So I took training yesterday and finalised all the details last night, as late as 8:30, even though for some reason it breaks before that broke. And it was as simple as that. I felt it the right thing to do over the last 48, 72 hours. Myself and Jim have come to the agreement that we can make this club better, and we've started that process already.
Yeah. This is a club channel, it's a club official channel, but like, you've been aware, I'm sure, of what's been said over the last 12 months about your departure from the club. I'm sure lots of people are asking you, why did you want to come back? Why? What has changed, or what do you think has changed to make you come back to the club?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think I'm one of a couple of people who could have done this job. It's probably definitely seen, I would imagine, I can't speak for the board, but seen as a safe pair of hands, someone who has had success at the club before for an 8.5 year period. The team was probably maybe one of the greats, and the older guys that stand at the back of the dugout can discuss that with me, but they will decide who was the greatest. But so probably seen as a safe pair of hands in that sense, but also someone who knows how to win, has been part of the winning culture in this group. For that reason, the board effectively felt I was the right person to do that job. There was absolutely obstacles to get over. There was a certain amount of hurt on both sides, but you've got to park your ego in any business you ever go into at the door, and if you don't do that, you've no chance. So yes, I was hurt. I think maybe the club was hurt as well, but at the same time, really what matters is Dundalk Football Club. I've got criticism, the owners have got criticised, but I think I care as much about League of Ireland, Dundalk, people in the shed, the support he gave me, even the lads, as I say, that stand behind me out in the dugout and tell me who to bring on and take off the stand. There's a connection there. Doesn't mean I can fix everything, but there's certainly a will to do that, and there's a will on both sides. So therefore, I see it as a real opportunity to give something back. Yes, to Irish football. I'm not a martyr, but to Irish football and to Dundalk fans who have been amazing to me as a person, and amazing, most importantly, to the players that's been at this club for the last 8.5 years. Probably my proudest moment in football is just because of where I was, standing in front of close to 1,000 people in Tallaght Stadium, and the reception they gave me after we beat them. Whenever I see that or see a picture of that, it means the world to me. So that, and obviously the success we had at different stages were huge. So this is an opportunity for me to give something back and steady the ship in this club alongside the people, great people here. There has been some improvements in the club, I would say, and I know it doesn't look like that from the outside looking in, but trust the people are here and give us an opportunity to show that.
Yeah. How would you describe your relationship with Jim Magilton, Vinny? Obviously, and I'm not sure whether a lot of people know this, but you did meet each other prior to you getting a job. You've had a couple of days here now at Oriel where you've obviously had lots of meetings. How do you see that relationship developing?
Yeah, I suppose there's a lot of I have seen or heard of a lot of talk about that, but I suppose all you can do is tell people exactly the real situation. We've met so much over the last 72 hours, and ironically I called for somebody, a sporting director or director of football, whatever you want to call it, back in the day. I felt we needed that in the club to help us. A lot going on in modern day football, and it's become the norm. So what Jim has done is, in the last 72 hours, we've had a huge amount of meetings about how to improve the squad, and we're actually on the same page in a lot of issues within the football club and within the squad. So I actually think Jim's appointment has been a major improvement for this football club. Now, I've no idea around commercial end of it, around the general running of the club, the other side of the stuff he has to do, but and that's not for me anyway, but what I see from a sporting director's point of view, it's been a massive help to any manager in this football club. So we've got to get on with that job, and as I said earlier on, we all park our egos at the door and we get on with it, because one thing I do know about Jim Magilton is he wants the best for Dundalk Football Club. So do I. So if that's a common trait the two of us have, we'll go a long way, and we'll start to see improvements. I just need people to be patient with us over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We start seeing improvements around the squad, around the football team in that time. But it's on a really sound footing, I would say. Yeah.
Now, I appreciate you've only been here a couple of days, but your backroom staff or your coaching staff, have you any plans or anything you can tell us at this stage?
No, there's nothing overly going to change. Steve McDonald will probably focus on the job he does with the academy, or what he came here to do. Short term, that was he needed to go back and do that. So beyond that, we just need a little bit of time, a little bit of I just ask for a bit of patience. Let us breathe. To be fair to the people who are here, they need an opportunity to see, does this suit them, not suit them, does it suit me? And myself and Jim will work together with people and find the right balances that are needed. I need people that complement my flaws, and that's why it's really important that your backroom staff is crucial.
Yeah. You've been in the training pitch for the last 2 days. You look like you're never away, in fairness. But have you enjoyed that, being back amongst the players again?
Yeah, I have. I've loved it, and the most important part of it was the reaction I got from the players. You have to be fair to people, and I don't like the word foreigners. I really dislike that word. We're all bloody God's children, and whatever your religious beliefs are, we're all come, no matter who you are. But obviously, in fairness to some of the imported players, this is the third head coach potentially, so I understand they've got concerns about where things are, where they are with the club. But what I got a real sense of from particularly those senior players, those real sort of leaders, is there was a real sense of purpose about us for the last 2 days. Now that has to carry on to the pitch tomorrow, or over the next few weeks. We've got to give us time to get back, not back to where we were, but back to improving the football team. And I think we've always done that at this club. I've been a coach at this club for a long time. Just watched Jamie McGrath get an Irish international cap. Came through our system while I was coaching him, while we were coaching him. Not while Vinny Perth was doing it, by the way, but while Patrick McElhenney was playing alongside him, while Pat Hooban was leading the line, and we've all helped, whether it's Jamie or Darryl Horgan or Andy Boyle become internationals. We can help each other around this club. And I've seen that. I can't say what went on in the past on the training ground, but there was that togetherness back over the last 2 days, and that's really what's impressed me most. A lot of stuff to fix, but it's been so positive on the training ground that ultimately we've got to back it up on the pitch, and hopefully that starts tomorrow, but that may take a bit of time.
Yeah. I'm sure you're aware of it. There's a lot of talk that some players apparently don't want you here, didn't want you to come back. Have you seen anything like that on the training ground in the last couple of days that makes you think some of them are unhappy, or have you had one-on-one meetings with them? What I suppose what I'm asking is, what do you say to that? That must be tough for you to take, listening.
Of course it's tough to take, and it's listen, that's the problem with social media, that's the problem with rumours. There's no doubt there's a couple of discussions had to have. When a manager leaves a club, there's always people hurt. When we had that squad that I managed throughout 19 and 20, but we had it in 16 as well. People at the end of 16, we had different challenges, and 17 was a difficult season for us. Difference was we lost 3-0 to Cork, if you remember, we went 17, 18 points behind them. We didn't have the same interference in life that social media gives you and open to rumours. But we rebuilt that team in 18. It's probably, and the players, the manager, coaching staff deserve you credit for that. We may not be able to rebuild this team as quickly, okay, but we can do it. The players want to do it. But I've got nothing but help, particularly from all the senior players in this dressing room since I've come in. And so I don't see it as an issue. I think it's outside noise, and I really don't pay too much attention to outside noise. There's too much of it going on at the moment in life, as I keep saying. So it's not an issue. There's no doubt there was a couple of conversations had to be had. But listen, I had 20 odd players early in 19 and 20. Not all them played. I don't expect them to be happy. I remember the great story when Sir Alex Ferguson told people he was staying. Dwight York was, his head was in the bin. That's life. Yeah. Not everyone can be pleased, but the one thing I think people know about me is it's not personal, it's football related.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier with the squad, yourself and Jim, you're coming in now at a time when the window's ready to open. Can we expect some activity in and out over the next couple of weeks?
Well, yes and no. Like, you can never guarantee anything. But we are working really, really hard. We've spent a lot of time over the last couple of days, and to be fair, previously that Jim had done a huge amount of work on that. I think the squad is, I'm certainly not going to sit here and be critical of anyone that would manage squads here before me, but the squad is out of sync a little bit, in my view, and me as a coach. It is not out of sync in other people's opinion, but in mine, we need a bit more cover in better areas and etc. So we're really struggling, with Brian Gartland and Dan Cleary, for argument's sake. It's a massive loss to us, massive loss to two of them, so senior players. So there needs to be some fixing in it, but it all depends. It's work in progress. So unfortunately, I can't give people something to go on for rumour's sake. I just say with something we'll work on as best we can. Yeah.
Ironically, you mentioned Longford Town. It's ironic, it's your first game back tomorrow night. Yeah. Darragh Doyle, he's done a great job there. You're at the game when we played Longford down in Bishopsgate earlier in the season. What are you expecting tomorrow night?
Well, I've been at a lot of football. I've been at maybe 1 or 2 games a week, and I suppose I should be thankful. Like someone like Shamrock Rovers were brilliant for me, where grounds were generally closed, gave me some access, and the people in Bohemians. But Longford also did, as well as Drogheda. They were very good to me, so that helped me. But I've seen Longford a lot, and what we see with them is, particularly in the last couple of weeks, excellent side, young, hungry side, battling for Darragh. They play all sorts of different systems, but they've got a real, I think the local boy in Aid there sums up everything about this team. He'll die for the cause, which is great for them. Proud, they still hang one of my jerseys in the bar, and when I go down there, I tell people there's a statue down there, but it's not there. But it is just an amazing football club, amazing people, and I wish them well, obviously, after tomorrow night. But Darragh's done a tremendous job. But we've got a real game on our hands tomorrow, and their intensity, the fans will see Longford's intensity and the running power is one of the better in all the teams in the league.
Yeah. It's a huge week. Obviously, after Longford, we've drawn United away on Monday night. Nice loud derby for you. And Friday night, then Derry City. Rory Higgins is back. It was your assistant manager. Would you prefer sort of not to have the 3 games in a week?
Yeah, you would. And I think I need to implement my ideas on the team, and I think I'm a better coach. Obviously, coming away, I think you're a better coach always the second time. So, but that it is what it is. We have to deal with it. We have to live with it. We probably would prefer a game a week at the moment, but that's life. Really exciting games. Back in the day, it would have suited us 3 games in a week. We always felt we have an advantage, but we're not there at the moment, and I certainly won't be watching many reeling in the years. This is a new group, it's a new club, and it's time to get on with it and get the club back to where it should be. Wherever the journey takes us, we'll see between now and the end of the year, but at least getting back, as I said, with a bit of pride in the jersey again, and people proud of us. But I think that's very close, to be fair to the players.
Yeah, I'll just touch on that point with the final question, but just before that, the European draw was obviously made this week. Your last game was obviously, in charge of Dundalk in the Champions League game last year. It's a team against Wales in the first round, and then Estonia and Gibraltar in the second round. Now, I think what we've seen this year is we can't be taking anything for granted, but it's a great opportunity to progress and hopefully advance towards the group stages of a new competition. Yeah, the only thing I can say to you is in the last 72 hours, I've only completely and utterly focused on Longford Town. So I couldn't tell you anything other than what maybe Darren Crawley tells me about the club we're playing. So I don't know. I don't think it's that important today. I understand fans will be excited by it, and Europe is massive for this club, always has been, in terms of we believe we belong at that level. But unless we get the team right over the next few weeks, Europe is not important. Get the team right, get the confidence back into the group, get them playing well. Whether them results are up or down, so be it. And we'll go into Europe with a positive mindset. But for now, it starts, unfortunately, boring answer, starts with Longford Town on Friday, and something to build on heading into the game on Monday. Yeah, I'll just come back to that one, the point you were making. There's seen as though there's a disconnect between the club and the community, and as somebody who's been at the club for that long, I'm sure that disappoints you and that probably hurts you to hear that. Is this a chance now for us all to sort of draw a line under this and as you say, unite, get behind everybody and put Dundalk Football Club at the heart of everything again? Yeah, listen, I understand there'll be pros and cons of me sitting here. I understand that within the fan base as well. I get that, okay? No issue with that, and it's up to me, if anyone doubts me, to prove them wrong, okay? But I think by and large, I think people see this as a positive step, I'd like to think. My phone this morning had 82 WhatsApp messages. Don't know who they're from yet, I haven't opened any of them, text messages and emails. But one fan in particular, it's probably the only text I've opened. Colleen McNally, Dara's mother, reached out to me. That's what this club's about. That's what this club is about, connecting to the community, connecting to people in town. That's what all this success means ultimately. And I'll bring a bit of that back, but ultimately what happens on the pitch means something to the people of this town. That's why I love football clubs like this. So the point I'm trying to make is, yes, we have to give them something they're proud of, but I don't believe, whether it's Jim McIntyre, whether it's Andy Boyle, any of them don't care about this town. We need to just show them on the pitch, and I promise we'll do everything in our power to do that. The Shed have been amazing to me, amazing. The people in the stand, and I see slagging the lads behind me, telling me who to play and all that stuff. It is great. There's a great sense of community about this football club. If that's lost, I don't know why, but I think ultimately if we get it right on the pitch, that will sort itself out. So that's why, for example, there's no media day today. It's not that I don't want to talk to the media, it's not that I'm scared of it. I just want people to give myself and Jim and the players a little bit of breathing space. Let us get back to what we do best, and give them something they're proud of. And if you give us that breathing space, I can't guarantee we'll do it on the pitch, but we're going to try bloody hard, and we'll have the Shed rocking when fans are finally allowed back into the ground. I promise people that, and we'll give them something that's excitable. And I know the board are very concerned about the link to the community, and it does mean something to them. We can criticise the board, you can criticise decisions I made as a manager tactically, but don't criticise what we think of the fans of this football club. And as I said to you, one fan, and when Colleen reached out to me, it was amazing. It happened to be the only text I've opened in 24 hours.
because that's what it's about. What we can do for people like that family and what they done for us, believe it or not, they lifted our spirits. So look, the club is where it is, but let's get back together, let's fight together, let's battle together. And I don't know where this journey is going to end up. I can't guarantee anything, but the one thing, as I said, we'll get back is players being proud, playing for the jersey, playing for the club, playing for the fans, and that's all we can promise. And the rest, as I say, will look after itself.
Well spoken. I think I speak for everybody. Best of luck. The very best of luck. And
I need luck. It's a difficult position we're in. We'll need a little bit of luck. We need things to go away. To be fair to people here, they should have had a penalty in the 91st minute against St Patrick's Athletic. No guarantee they score. Things haven't gone their way. Sometimes you create your own luck. Things haven't gone their way. But there's a hell of a good bunch of players here. There's a great setup within the sporting side of the club, and the commercial seems to be improving. This club needs to just give each other a big hug, get back together, sort it out on the pitch. And as I said, we may not be lifting trophies anytime soon, but we'll be certainly a team to be proud of.
Brilliant, Vinny. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.